There's a heartbreaking truth that most dog owners never realize. Your dog may have spent almost its entire life waiting for just one thing from you. Not better food, not new toys, not even longer walks, but the feeling of being truly understood. Many people believe that feeding their dog well, keeping them clean, and hugging them every day is enough. But the scary part is, sometimes the very things we think are acts of love are actually making our dogs quietly lose their sense of safety. Have you ever noticed your dog silently hiding in a corner of the house? Or lying beside you but no longer looking at you the way they used to? Most owners don't realize what's happening until that bond slowly fades over the years. And the saddest part is, dogs don't know how to blame you. They just suffer in silence. In this video, you'll discover the 6 things your dog has been waiting its whole life for you to finally understand and do right. And after watching this, you may never look at your dog the same way again. The first thing your dog has been waiting a very long time for you to understand is that they need a place that truly feels like their own. Have you ever seen your dog crawl under a table, press themselves tightly against a wall, or hide behind the couch whenever the house becomes too loud? The first reaction of most owners is to pull them out. They assume the dog is being overly fearful, or worse, they think the dog is strange. But the truth is, in that moment, your dog doesn't need to be dragged out to become braver. They are simply desperately searching for a place where they feel safe. What many people don't realize is that even after living beside humans for thousands of years, a dog's brain still carries the shelter-seeking instincts of their wild ancestors. In the wild, a den was never just a place to rest. It was the one place that kept them alive. And that instinct never completely disappeared. That's why so many dogs love lying under tables, in dark corners, or curled up in tight spaces. Not because they dislike you, but because those spaces are where their nervous system can finally relax. The heartbreaking part is that many dogs spend their entire lives inside a home without ever having a corner that truly feels like theirs. A small bed in a quiet corner, an open crate, a blanket carrying a familiar scent. Sometimes something that's simple is enough to make your dog feel, finally, I have a safe place where I belong. The second thing many dog lovers unknowingly get wrong every single day is touching their dog too much without realizing it. It sounds hard to believe, doesn't it? Because most of us think, the more affection I give, the more loved my dog will feel. But try seeing it from your dog's perspective for once. Imagine you're lying down, quietly resting, and every few minutes someone touches your head, hugs you, pulls you closer, even though you never asked for it. At first it might feel fine, but repeated over and over every day, your sense of control slowly disappears. Many dogs begin tolerating affection instead of truly enjoying it. That's why some dogs still lie beside their owners, yet their bodies remain slightly tense. Their ears flatten, their eyes look away, or they quietly walk off after only a few seconds of petting. And sadly, most owners never notice those tiny signals. Real love is not always about touching more. Sometimes, real love means giving your dog the right to choose. Pay attention to the moments when your dog places their head on your leg first, or climbs into your lap on their own, or gently leans their body against your hand. That is when they are truly saying, I want to be close to you. And strangely enough, when you stop forcing closeness, dogs often begin seeking you out even more. Because for the first time, they feel respected, instead of simply being loved in the way humans want. The third thing your dog has been waiting a very long time for is the moment you finally choose to step into their world. It sounds simple, but when was the last time you truly sat down on the floor beside your dog? Not to put on a leash, not to check an injury, not to call them over. Just sitting beside them, with no purpose at all. Humans often forget something incredibly important. To a dog, we are enormous. Every single day, dogs look up at a creature many times larger than themselves. A creature that controls the food, the doors, the sounds, the schedule, and even the space they live in. So no matter how much your dog loves you, part of their instinct is always quietly observing whether you are safe to be around. That's why many dogs flinch when their owner walks toward them too quickly, or slightly back away when someone leans over and stares directly into their face. But everything changes when you sit down on the floor. Suddenly, you are no longer so overwhelming. you seem calmer, less threatening, easier to approach, and strangely enough, many dogs will begin looking at you completely differently in that moment. Some will slowly walk closer, others will simply lie down and relax more deeply, because for the first time in a long while, they no longer feel the need to stay on guard. Sometimes just 10 quiet minutes sitting beside your dog each day can heal distances you never even realized had existed for years. The fourth thing that almost every dog owner unintentionally takes away from their dog every single day is the right to smell the world around them. Have you noticed that during walks, your dog always stops for a long time at a tree, a patch of grass, or a pole? And what is the usual human reaction? Come on, hurry up. What's so interesting about that smell? But what we fail to understand is this. For dogs, sniffing is not entertainment. It's how they read the world. From a single scent left on the ground, a dog can tell which dog passed by, whether that dog was anxious or calm, healthy or stressed, even whether the scent was left there hours ago. Every time you pull your dog away while they're sniffing, it's like someone ripping a book out of your hands right before the final page. And what's even more important is that sniffing helps dogs release nervous tension. The human world is overwhelmingly loud for them. Traffic noise, sudden sounds, unpredictable routines, crowded places, and sniffing is one of the few things that helps them calm themselves again. Many people think walks are only for physical exercise, but in reality, the most important part of the walk is the nose. So the next time you take your dog outside, try slowing down a little. Let them stay longer near a patch of grass. Let them explore in their own way. To you, it may seem like a few meaningless minutes, but to your dog, it may be one of the rare moments when they truly get to live like a dog. The fifth thing dogs need far more than most people realize is a stable rhythm of life they can trust. Have you noticed this? Many dogs know exactly when their owner is about to come home. They know when it's almost feeding time. Some even run to the door minutes before you arrive. Most people think it's just a cute habit, but in reality, this is how dogs hold on to their sense of safety in the world. Unlike humans, dogs do not understand time through clocks or calendars. They understand life through patterns. Waking up in the morning, familiar footsteps, feeding time, walk time, the quiet feeling that settles over the house at night. All of these things create a map of safety inside a dog's mind. And when that map constantly changes, dogs begin feeling anxious in ways owners often never notice. Meals become unpredictable. One day there's lots of play and affection, the next day complete absence. Some days they are showered with attention, then suddenly left alone because life becomes busy. To humans, that's simply normal life. But to a dog, the world starts becoming impossible to predict. And once dogs can no longer predict what will happen next, their nervous system rarely gets the chance to fully relax. That's why many dogs become restless, overly reactive, or extremely clingy. Not because they are bad dogs, but because they are desperately searching for the one thing that makes life feel stable again. Sometimes, what heals a dog is not a new toy, but simply a life steady enough for them to believe, tomorrow, I will still be safe. And the final thing may be the one that touches people the most. Your dog has been waiting a very long time for you to truly talk to them, not to give commands, not sit, come here, or be quiet, but to speak to them the way you would speak to a beloved family member. It may sound strange to some people, but notice this. Many dog owners unconsciously talk to their dogs whenever no one else is around. They talk while cooking, while driving, during walks, or after a long, exhausting day. And the incredible thing is, dogs are genuinely listening. A dog's brain has evolved over thousands of years to read human emotion through tone of voice. They don't just hear sounds, they feel your emotional state. That's why dogs know when you are sad, even if you never cry. They know when you are stressed, even when you say nothing. And they also know when you are speaking to them with real affection. Sometimes, what dogs need is not more food or new gifts, but simply the feeling that they truly exist within your life. To hear you say their name, to listen to your random little stories throughout the day, to feel that they are not just a pet, but a real part of this family. And perhaps that is the most heartbreaking thing about dogs. They spend almost their entire lives listening to us. while so many people never once truly speak to them with their whole heart. And perhaps after hearing all of this, you will begin to understand a very different truth about dogs. What they wait for their entire lives was never a perfect life. Not a bigger house, not more expensive food, not dozens of new toys. What dogs truly need is the feeling of being understood by the person they trust the most. Because to a dog, you are not just an owner. You are their whole world. You are the first person they look for every morning. The sound that makes their tail start wagging. The one place they want to run to whenever they feel afraid. The heartbreaking part is that many dogs spend almost their entire lives trying to understand humans, while humans rarely try to understand their emotions in return. And then one day, they grow old. They walk more slowly, they sleep more often, even their eyes become quieter than before. And that is when many people finally realize the time they had with their dog was far shorter than they ever imagined. There are things you always believe you will do later. A longer walk, more time sitting beside them, a moment to truly listen. But dogs do not live as long as humans, and sometimes the thing people regret most after losing a dog is not what they did. It's the things they never got the chance to do while their dog was still there beside them. And then one day, you will walk into the house, but you will no longer hear the sound of fast little footsteps racing toward the door. No more wildly wagging tail just because you came home. No more eyes lighting up as if you were the greatest thing in the world. The house will still look the same. Their bed will still be in the same corner. The leash may still hang where it always did, but the creature that loved you more than itself will be gone. And in that moment, many people begin remembering the small moments they once overlooked. The times their dog wanted to lie beside them, but they were too busy. The walks that were rushed through as quickly as possible. The moments their dogs stared at them for a long time while they never truly looked back. The saddest thing about dogs is not their short lifespan. It's the fact that they spend almost their entire lives loving one human, a human who sometimes only understands the depth of that love when it's already too late. Because to you, a dog is only part of your life. But to a dog, you are their entire life. From the first day they walk into your home until their final breath, the thing they want most never changes. Simply to be near you, to be understood by you, to be loved in a way they can truly feel. So tonight, before you do anything else, try giving a few real minutes to your dog. Sit down beside them. Look at them a little longer. Listen to the small signals you may have never noticed before. You may realize something very strange. That creature never asked you to be perfect. They do not care whether you are rich or poor. They do not care whether today you succeeded or failed, and they will not leave you during your worst days. The only thing they have ever truly wanted is to stay close to the person they love most in the world. And sometimes the things that make dogs happiest are the small things humans often forget. A gentle look, a slower walk, patiently waiting for them to finish sniffing, or simply a soft goodnight before bed. If you made it this far, comment 1 so I know there are still many people who truly love dogs with all their hearts. And please share this video with anyone who has a dog, because sometimes simply understanding their emotions a little better can completely change a dog's life. And don't forget to follow the channel, because the next video may help you understand your four-legged friend in a way you never imagined before.